our first topic is our Mount Rushmore. It's our first video, so let's do our Mount Rushmore. Within the Mount Rushmore, we're going to do your one mic, one technical, one powerhouse, and an overall wrestler. So, one of you guys can go first, and then we'll...
Are we doing like, I say my mic, you say your mic, you say your mic? Is that how it goes? Or is it...
Should we do that? We could do that.
Because then we can do right into the three-way.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm going to... My favorite wrestler on the mic, and I'm doing this as like... This is a personal thing, is probably... It's going to be a tie, and it's going to be my mid-carder, but I'm not going to say my mid-carder because this guy held the world title, and that's Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. The Mick Foley promos in ECW. I found them on Napster when I was a kid, just like trying to learn as much as I could about ECW. And they said Cactus Jack promos, and I listened to them, and they were wild. And then that just carried over into everything else with WWF when he cut the promo revealing that Mankind's not ready to face Triple H at the Royal Rumble, but he knows someone that is, and he rips open the shirt, and it's the Cactus Jack shirt. All that stuff. Mick Foley, very underrated. He lost his edge as he got older, but he replaced it with humor, and that was still, a work of art to me. So, and Mick Foley to me represented so much of what I was at the time when I was a teenager, like that guy that was doing things differently, but somehow hanging with the elites in the WWE. So, yeah, for me, it's Mick Foley.
Nice. Mine's is I think almost everybody's gonna say this. Ric Flair. I can't really say anything. Just look at any one of his promos, and you'll understand why he is such a good person on the mic.
Is that your personal favorite? Like, are you watching Ric Flair promos at night?
Yes. Okay. You want to get hyped?
Do you not?
No, I do. I do want to make sure he does, because he said it.
You want to start your day off right? Listen to a Ric Flair promo.
You're right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
It has to be the NWA days.
Okay.
Those days where, and the other person that really went toe-to-toe with him was Dusty Rhodes. So those were the two. I think the two of them, if it wasn't one for another, their mic skills wouldn't be as what it is now.
Right.
Because they one-upped each other every single time.
They raised the bar.
Yes,
definitely. Exactly. Well, I have to agree with Eric. I had Mick Foley.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I swear to
really?
God, Mick Foley
wow, I did not see that coming.
Is my number one on the mic of all time. This was very close, I will admit, between him and Austin.
Oh, that's a...
But I had to give it to Foley because...
What?
I had that VHS, the Three Faces of Foley.
Yeah.
Dude, as a kid, that was like every day coming home from school and throwing that on.
Oh,
because it was just the best. I love Mick Foley.
Right.
Always one of my favorites. He's a regular guy. That's his appeal. Is like he's not a bodybuilder.
No.
He's just a dude who would throw himself off of shit.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man.
Don't tell Hulk Hogan that. Why? Hogan hates Mick Foley.
Does he?
Well, not hate him, but Hogan went off of a rant saying that, hey, I don't finish my matches and go back to my hotel room and scarf a cheeseburger down. He's like, I'll spend 2 hours at the gym in the morning and then 2 hours in the afternoon treating my body right so I can keep wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. You were treating your body right.
Yeah. So then now, we got our mic skills. Now, who on the Mount Rushmore would be technical wrestler?
Let's snake it back this way.
Okay. Yeah.
Because my pick here, I think he's a technical wrestler. I would call him a technical wrestler.
Okay, one of those guys.
Mm-hmm. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
He's technical.
Yeah,
right?
very technical.
Okay. Thank you. So I thought about that. I was like, I think he's not, because I guess you could argue he's not like a chain wrestler, technical wrestler, but he was like, he was precise in everything he did. And Shawn Michaels has the best ring psychology of any wrestler of all time.
He'll make anyone look good.
So Shawn Michaels is my pick for technical Mount Rushmore.
That's good.
Nice. Yeah. And then I would go with Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Fair.
Kurt Angle is one of my favorite, most technical wrestlers. And here's the thing. I did my homework, and I got it written down here on notes because my brain's not that great. Okay. Matches you have to see the technicality of Kurt.
I've probably seen him.
You guys probably have. Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. And that was WrestleMania 20.
Yep.
Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. That was WrestleMania 19.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 21.
Are you scared to say Benoit versus Kurt Angle at Royal Rumble? The match that Kurt Angle himself.
You know, I was thinking about
that. That is a pretty insane match.
Kurt, what? Like, I mean, listen, Benoit is. You're so scared to put him on a list nowadays. But Benoit would have been, you know, he's up there with technical wrestlers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll segue that into my pick. I was going to say Benoit, and I thought about it. Because I can't deny how much I watched Benoit growing up until whatever happened. So my real pick, though, the guy that replaced my love of technical wrestling was Daniel Bryan.
Love that. Yes.
Daniel Bryan, to me, if you just remove everything, all the aura and the flamboyance and all the glitz and glamour of professional wrestling, and you just replace it with movement and athletic ability and timing, I don't think anyone does move for move as perfect as Daniel Bryan. You know, Shawn Micheals has psychology. You know, Kurt Angle has intensity. But Daniel Bryan, like the way he throws a little elbow when someone's in a headlock, it's like perfect. It's like every wrestling student, watch how he just did that. You know, the way he just, every little thing is so important to him. So to me, Daniel Bryan is my Mount Rushmore of technical.
Then now what will your powerhouse be?
Oh, my powerhouse. Oh, very hard pick. Very hard pick. I'm going to go with Vader.
Oh, it's Vader
I'm gonna go
time.
with Vader. It was very hard.
It's Vader time.
I don't want to say who my second was because I think one of you may pick him, so I'm just going to go with Vader. You know, Vader WWF run, not the best. Vader WCW run, my God.
With the Mastodon?
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then after WWE, when he went to Japan, my God, what he did to those guys.
Super Vader.
Yeah, like unbelievable. The punches were legit. The moonsault was legit. Everything, he ended guys' careers legitimately and in storylines. Nothing like a Vader match, in my opinion. One in a lifetime professional wrestler.
It's crazy how you could put Vader and a moonsault in the same sentence.
Right, yeah, exactly.
My powerhouse, The Undertaker. That's my powerhouse. Reason being, and I've been picking these matches and I was watching them last night. I was doing my homework. So, Undertaker. They're the matches you got to see with The Undertaker to prove that he's a powerhouse. You got to watch Undertaker versus Bret Hart, one night only, 1997. You got to watch any Hell of the Cell matches with Taker. The one that comes to mind for all of us is Mankind, and then it would be Shawn, and then Triple H. That's how I list my Hell in the Cell. Like, those are the three Hell in the Cells that I feel like he killed it.
Shawn, the one with Shawn and the one with Foley are both 1A and 1B. I go back and forth on those all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that
I'm
was
always
the
going to
guinea
pick
pig
Foley
match.
on that one, but yeah, I just rewatched the Shawn one, and
It's so good.
yeah, it's crazy that the first Hell in Cell match is one of the best
good,
still.
dude.
Yeah.
And then you got to see The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25,
Of course,
and 26.
26, I didn't love as much.
They still killed it.
It's
Listen,
still
they got
good,
they
yes,
got 1
but
year
25
older.
is
25,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, 25 is great.
That's
but you
it.
got to
That's
understand,
it.
they got 1 year older in WrestleMania 26, and they still broke the house down. It's like, and you're a powerhouse.
Well, this was kind of a tough one because I don't know. I went with Brock Lesnar because
That was my second. That was my second.
I love Lesnar.
So do I.
He makes it look so easy. Guys who make it look easy make it look real, and that's the best. And he is as real as they get.
Yeah.
He's barely playing a character when he's there. You know, he's just himself. He throws fucking people around.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, how can you not love Brock Lesnar, dude?
Yeah, no. I love Brock, and I think he's underrated. I don't think people give him enough credit for having
I
great
agree,
matches.
and I know, Eric, you're a big Japan guy. Have you seen Brock's Japan work?
I saw his angle match.
Yeah.
and that was
I think I've seen like one or two of them as well. I'm not super familiar with it, but I'm interested to know how he did in Japan.
You know, honestly, he kind of brings the Japan style anyway into WWE, like that stiff big guy stuff, that throwing you around legitimately stuff. He only turned it up 10% more in Japan because he was already like that.
Yeah.
It was a lot more suplexes, I'll tell you that.
Any wrestler that goes to Japan wrestles way better than what they were.
They have to.
Look at my number one person that says, look at them in Japan, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You would never see him wrestle
wrestled
like
in
that in the
Japan.
States.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So we're done with our powerhouses. Now your overall.
Okay.
Now your overall could be technically everyone within this list put into one.
I mean,
Oh, that's tough.
I mean,
I struggle with this.
I don't know. I mean, it's number one overall for me is always Austin.
Ooh.
You know, I guess you can call him a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know, especially in his later career after the broken neck, he changed his style completely to brawling all the time. You know,
Yeah.
One of the best matches post his neck break, I think, is him and Undertaker at SummerSlam '98, and it's just a total brawl. And you know, it's Austin. I love Austin.
I'm with you on that one.
Hell yeah.
But my overall would be the Heartbreak Kid,
Oh, boy.
Shawn Michaels. That is my overall. And I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
fine.
got matches that you need to go see to prove why he's the overall.
There's no reason to watch.
Any Shawn Michaels match
Everyone
is
knows.
basically a number one.
All right,
But
let's just get something over with this podcast. Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. Everyone understands. You don't have to keep putting him on these lists. It's fine. You know, it's just
he's in
weird that
every
he's the
one
middle
of my
stripper.
top fives from here on out. So as long as you know 4 of the wrestlers you will not know, but that one will be Shawn Michaels. For any luchador, Shawn Michaels. It's like anything.
All right, fair enough. For me, I struggled overall just because I was trying to figure it out. But then I kind of nailed it on somebody, and that's Terry Funk for me. Terry Funk with the weirdest, strangest promos you've ever seen, pouring oil on himself on YouTube, if you can find that video while he's cutting a promo. Just like, you know, when he said to Tommy Dreamer, your mommy's a crackhead, or your mommy's a whore and your daddy's a crackhead. You know, things like that, always offensive. And his match is undeniable, you know, 53-year-olds and crazy. And in terms of being a powerhouse, maybe not a powerhouse, but like laid it in there, like he wasn't backing down in his matches. You know, his punches looked as hard as anyone as Vader's.
The best looking punches.
Because they were real. Because he was hitting you.
That story is so great.
Oh my God. So this is going to be the mix-up now. The mix-up is this. If we take our Mount Rushmore, the 3 of us, and we put them in a triple threat.
Well, if we start with the mic.
If we start with the mic, then it's going to be Ric Flair fighting Mankind.
No, it's not.
Who would it be?
Well, it could be Ric Flair versus Mankind and Cactus Jack.
Jack?
Or it could be Ric Flair versus Mankind and Dude Love.
Or Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Or Mick Foley.
Yeah,
Or
there's
Mick
many
Foley.
options
Yeah.
here. So,
Ric Flair. I think on the mic skill, Rick
honestly,
would take Foley.
I'll concede this
Yeah.
to Ric Flair, even though, you know, I prefer Foley. But Ric Flair is what, like a Ric Flair promo is what the average person thinks of when they think of a wrestling promo.
Right.
You know, like even the person who doesn't watch wrestling at all.
I
like,
mean, here's the thing. I think the promo between them Rick would be talking about, you know, the clothing, the jewelry, the watches, the
there
airplane.
are promos. They
and
did
then
work with
and then
programmers.
it would.
I
Did
remember
they?
it.
That was good.
And it
SummerSlam.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta
Yes.
look at that.
Yeah, it was a good match.
2006
It was a
or
good match.
7?
Yeah, it was an I Quit match.
Yes,
It was a good
They
match.
did a couple. They did like they did 3 matches, I
Yeah,
think.
they did.
Really? I gotta.
Yes,
I
this
got.
is
The SummerSlam match, they
Summer
both did blade
2006,
jobs. They did-
after the feud
yeah.
with Edge that Foley had,
Okay.
and the ECW angle. Then he had an
But-
angle with Ric Flair after that.
But in all honesty, because you and me picked Mick Foley, by default, Ric Flair's eliminated. Because
that's true. Yeah.
you know, so you know, even so even if
bye bye, you're out. That's right.
But you got to remember, Ric Flair is the dirtiest player in the game.
That's true. So
it's like, you know, a low blow, a poke to the eye, you know, and it's, you know, Mick Foley is not really physically, you know.
What do you mean? He got thrown off a Hell in a Cell and continued.
He lived in a boiler room.
To the point where you look at Mick Foley and you're like, is he too stupid to realize when he's injured or when he can't continue? Remember, he couldn't say "I quit." They had to squeal it from a.
Oh, I remember it. I remember that very well.
That's fine.
So wait, who do we go with?
We're going with Foley.
Yeah,
We're going
Foley.
two-
You gotta
two
have
against
voted.
one.
You just gotta have voted.
Okay,
Foley, the
fine,
greatest
whatever.
promo
We'll,
of all time,
we'll let people argue that one.
Yeah.
Technical. I got Kurt Angle.
I got Daniel Bryan.
I got HBK.
That's a tough list.
Oof.
That's a tough list.
I'm sticking with Shawn on that. And
I think I would. I don't know. My overall is Shawn. So like, what do I do now?
I'll concede Shawn just because Daniel Bryan was trained by Shawn.
yeah.
Wow.
So I'll concede Shawn.
So I'll go with Shawn on this one. I think
There you go.
Shawn's the guy for technical. And then if we do Powerhouse now, Undertaker.
Lesnar.
Vader. Well,
Jeez.
right now I'm telling you, I'm eliminating Undertaker.
Yeah.
Even though I love him, just because, like, in terms of Powerhouse.
Here's the thing, though: is it prime Lesnar and prime?
No, everything is
Vader.
prime. It has to be prime.
Yeah, Prime Vader. That's the 1A, 1B right there for this.
But what is prime Lesnar though? In your, I guess it's for his
The,
first run.
2004,
His first run, right?
2000.
No, I would
2003,
say his return from
around
UFC run.
Really? When he knew how to
When he
fight
just
more?
fucked people up. When he was just
Everybody
loved
was
that.
scared. Everybody was scared to fight him.
when he was shoot elbowing Cena and Orton.
I absolutely hated when he broke the streak when it happened.
That was a bad
And then
match.
I loved it a year later, and I was like, I get what they were trying to do. It didn't work fully.
Yeah.
Because the fans did not accept Roman Reigns as the guy,
Yeah,
but
right.
what they were trying to do was a good idea. It just didn't work out perfectly.
My heart wants to go to Vader on this one, but the the way
like
how
you said,
Brock is,
Mastodon Vader in WCW. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, we're giving it to
I mean,
Vader.
he would call Brock Lesnar boy so many times. So we got Vader for the Powerhouse, and then the overall, which I went with Shawn.
Austin.
I went weird with Terry Funk, so I could see me not, being there. But I feel like the people that know, they know.
Well, I think Shawn's already on the Mount Rushmore.
I mean,
already
Austin's
for technical.
Austin, absolutely acceptable.
It has to be Austin.
It's got to be Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Austin.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So I mean,
wow.
that's that.